we are joined uniquely by Mr. Mohammed Kabir-Wanori, the Executive Secretary of Borno State's Information and Communication Technology Development Agency. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us this morning to have this conversation. Sir, I'd like to start by asking, first off, if you can confirm for us, were you at the town hall?
Yes, I am in the town hall meeting,
okay.
And the meeting is very commendable.
Grand. Thank you very much for that one. Now, we also saw the presence of the governor himself, who is not a stranger here at News Central. He has been on News Central many times to talk about the challenges that Borno State is going through. I would like you to tell us what you think about his, well, what might be seeming willingness to actually make sure that the instances, the issues in Borno State are attended to.
Well, I think it has been discussed fully yesterday in the meeting, and it is to the knowledge of everybody in this world that this part of the country is ravaged and under siege 14 years ago, and thank God, with the coming of this our able governor, he has done everything possible to see the lost glory is returned back. And lastly, in the first place, what he did was to see how best he can, revitalize the destruction done by this insurgency in terms of education, health facilities, and agriculture. Most worrisome is education, where more than 2 million children were out of school then. Somebody who is about 7 years, that period is now over 20 years. So how can we cope? How can we carry along this group of people that have, couldn't get their right during that time? So the governor came with an idea of establishing an agency that will, cushion the effect. Information technology is all about skills, more of skills, and a skill can be attained by any group age. So in order to cushion that effect, he came on with the agency called Borno State Information and Communication Technology Development Agency, in which I was appointed the executive secretary. And then the governor has done a lot in that, with the establishment of the agency. He has put in place centers in each of the local governments. So far, so good. We are able to build about 22 digital literacy centers in the 22 local governments, where it is 100% safe.
And Mr. Kabir-Wanori,
in that place, yes.
Mr. Kabir-Wanori, so I'm going to, now we've had this conversation regarding the efforts of your agency using ICT to help track the 1.5 million people that have been internally displaced. Noting that, however, that this has become the issue, resettling people who have been displaced by these bandits or terrorists or whatever you might call it, does that not remove focus on trying to get to the root cause of the matter, bringing people to book, getting the perpetrators, arrests? Instead, now it moves on to resettling. Are you saying that perhaps we've forgotten about the fact that there are terrorist activities happening in Borno State and now we're focusing on resettling? How does this balance out on both sides to help the people, but then again to bring those who perpetrated these crimes to book?
Exactly, I think you've gotten it right. But, bringing them into book alone cannot solve the problem. Some of the perpetrators are doing out of ignorance. I believe out of ignorance, out of ill education. But the best thing is to see how best we can put in place, education facilities, skill facilities, so that they'll have something doing. That is one. And then secondly, yes, in as much as bringing them into book is also very, very important. We should also know that if we can deploy non-kinetic, as the governor has rightly said the other time, non-kinetic measures is also another very. If you look at it, the the kinetic, way of tackling the issue is no more yielding, a result better than non-kinetic. What is non-kinetic? Then the approach that you will do it so that it will be solved amicably, and then re-educate them on the ills of what they are doing. Somebody who is at the age of 17, 15, who are indoctrinated by, a set of syndicates. I want to believe that it is, even the insurgency is not an initiative of this country. It's somebody somewhere in another part of the world, because of the sale of their weapons and what have you. They created this, and then they targeted young people, very, very young people within the age of 11, 12, 13, up to 17, to change their mindset. Okay. So for us to also, get them back, so we have to use all sorts of approach. That is to say.
I'd like to introduce our next guest. Joining us now via call is Mr. Ahmed Shehu. He's the chairman and also chief security officer of Northeast Civil Society Forum, one of the most vocal civil society coalitions in the region. You're welcome, sir. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, Mr. Ahmed,
it's nice.
You're welcome. Mr. Ahmed, now let's talk about what Mr. Kabir has just mentioned, the use of non-kinetic means to actually help remove the instance that we are faced with in Borno State, especially after the town hall meeting where the governor was very vocal about the efforts that he is making. Regarding boots on the ground, no boots on the ground, using information and technology, how would you say that this can help the situation generally in Borno State?
Sorry, I missed the last aspect of your question, sir.
The last thing I said was I asked how will the use of ICT, the use of technology be able to help the situation that Borno State finds itself when it comes to insurgency?
Okay. Thank you for this opportunity. For us as a civil society, as you know, we are at the grassroots and we are the first responders when there are issues in the communities. And usually in these 15 years of insurgency, we have seen it all. And currently the innovation of accepting the repentant Boko Haram, we all agree with the governor and then everyone in the community that this is the only solution to end this madness that is happening. And now, as I'm talking to you about getting to 300,000 already accepted in the community, but accepting them is one thing, and the buy-in of stakeholders is very important. What am I trying to say here is this is community that is ravaged by conflict for over 15 years. You have family that have lost their means of livelihood, that have lost their loved one, and they don't have any means of sustenance. And now bringing these guys back is very good. Now we have the relative peace. But what next are we supposed to look at is we have to look at the issue of livelihood. The community are also requiring a means of livelihood, while the repentant also require a means of livelihood. So for us as an organization, as a civil society, we are supporting the government in the reintegration process where we now sensitize the repentant and how they can live peacefully in their communities. But one of the challenges now is about the means of livelihood. The situation is so massive and there that the government alone cannot do it, and then the support of the federal government really need to come. Like the larger percentage of the people in the region are farmers, and now these are people that they cannot be able to go to farm. They are dependent on how now for them to survive. What do we do? The federal government need to come in to support Borno State government in terms of provision of livelihood opportunities to those people in the community and also the repentant. That is the only puzzle now that is remaining. Means of livelihood is the only way we can address the challenges now, because even those repentant, when they come to the communities, they require a means of livelihood to ensure that they dissolve into the community and have a social cohesion.
Now, Shehu, you've touched on a very sensitive topic here when you talk about reintegration. If you were at the town hall, you would see that there was lots of emotions, there was lots of tears, there was lots of people who expressed how frustrated they were at the instance. You can see that this is still boiling down under. Now, if you talk about reconciliation or reintegration of these people back in the communities and them needing a means of living, there's still people who still feel aggrieved. Don't you think that this same issue might still bubble forth in the long run? Shehu, please.
Hello?
Yes, Shehu, I hope you heard
Hello?
my question.
Apology, the network is
Okay.
is so sporadic here. I missed the larger part of your question, sir.
Okay, I will ask again regarding reintegration of these repentant bandits back into the community. Don't you think that there's still a problem there? Because people still have grievances against these people who might have perpetrated these acts, and that these issues might still bubble forth.
Yeah. For me, I think I will not call it a problem. Rather, I will call it that we need to visit our strategies, because the issue of the accepted repentant is a holistic approach, and it is only the last option left. And this option was not taken along by the governor; it was taken by the community. When the governor called for a town hall meeting, and he asked the people, "Do we agree that we should forgive these our brothers so that let them come back and live in peace, or we continue fighting, let them be killing us and let the security also be killing them?" Then the community holistically agreed that, okay, let's explore this issue of reintegration of the repentant. And now the issue here, as I observe here, is this is something new that has not been explored anywhere in the world. The governor come up with the Borno model, of which the civil society, I personally, as a peace ambassador, involved, and even one of your youth advocates, one of the correspondents, I was appointed one of the youth peace advocates to talk to this repentant, and we have been doing that together. So as I mentioned, the only issue now is for us to revisit our strategies to ensure that both the community and repentant are empowered, because this is the crux of the matter. Without empowerment, you're not going to have the peace. These are young people that are agile, that have the energy, but they don't have a means of livelihood. Here, the federal government needs to create an enabling environment for the people to live in peace. For the farmers, now we are going into the rainy season. People cannot go far beyond some kilometers to farm. What is this happening? We need to intensify the securities. We need to provide sub-grant to young people. We need to provide improved agriculture. We need to walk our talk. The government, but not state government alone cannot do it. The federal government need to come in, the international community need to come in. I want to conclude on this question by saying we must sit down and re-strategize in order to ensure that the reintegration process really succeeds, because it's all involved issue of livelihood and then sustainable social cohesion in the communities.
Mr. Kabir-Wanori, let's talk about public trust. Now, the people have lost faith in the system. They've long lost faith in the government. You are the ICT lead in Borno State, and the entire issue here kind of rests on you right now. But how can ICT be used, as information and communications technology, be used to build back public trust in the government? How can it be used to build back that trust in the institutions that are there in Borno State?
Establishment of the agency, I think, is a deliberate design by the governor to see how the younger generation, those that are, that are out of school, as they all said, an idle mind is a devil workshop. So those that are out of school will have something doing that will take away their mind by leveraging on the agency, and then leveraging on the ICT facilities to acquire skills so that there will be self-reliance, including those that have earlier gone for the insurgency and were brought back through non-kinetic distance will also benefit, so that all ancestors will be benefiting on this thing, providing getting skills and then being self-reliant. As soon as they are self-reliant, I don't think the issue of maybe taking away their mind toward another thing will be a thing of past.
Now, Shehu, do you agree that this is a good? I'm being told that Shehu has lost contact with us, unfortunately. But Mr. Wanori, I guess we'll have to conclude with you regarding this. Now, my final question to you would be, with the town hall, with the issues that were raised there, the tears that were shed, and the suggestions that were made by the stakeholders, and the governor's commitment, do you think that we've seen the last of these instances in Borno State?
By the grace of God, with what is put on place by the government of the Federation and the state to Borno. And then, when there is destruction, and the peace started emerging after the destruction, it's a gradual project, gradual process. It will gradually, by the grace of God, all this will be a thing of past, and it will be, it will be resolved.
Shehu, did you hear that question? I'm wondering whether you can answer now because it was actually intended for you. Do you think, with everything that you saw at the town hall meeting, the governor's approach to the situation, the use of ICT, do you think we've seen the last of insurgency in the state? Do you think that this kind of takes care of the issues that we're having in Borno State?
Well, first of all, I want to start by commending New Central itself through your focal person in Borno, that is Kerawa, for holding this first town hall meeting together. For me, I think a lot of actors have tried to organize a town hall meeting, especially coming from non-indigenous, but this has not been successful in Borno. So we are all amazed that New Central was able to organize this town hall meeting in Maiduguri, even bringing the #1 citizen to come to a private facility and then listen. This is a very rare event that has never happened in Borno, when the governor will be pulled out from the government house to come to a private facility and then to listen to the people. So I think I commend Kirawa for that, and I commend New Central, and we hope that this can be sustained. Having said that, the governor also need to be commended for agreeing to listen to a private firm like you guys here, because it's very rare. Most governors emphasize on what will add value to their political aspiration. But for us as a civil society, this town hall meeting is a great milestone, because we have been looking for opportunity to engage the stakeholders and the government. And now New Central provided that platform, when the civil society were even given the platform to talk on to the government, and then the government listened to it. What is this telling us? It means the governor is now trying to listen to the people and provide feedback. Especially having a conversation in a town hall meeting shows that there's a good governance, there's transparency, and there's accountability in the process. So I will urge the government to sustain this, not only sustain it at the state level. The governor is to visit the LGS. Any LGA he visits, he should talk to the people, listen to the people. This is the first step toward ending the insurgency. Because let's not forget what brought this insurgency. History reveals that it is lack of is grievances, lack of opportunities, and so on and so forth. Young people were not listening to, and they are revolted, and they are now indoctrinated, and now we cannot be able to handle the problem. So if we have a platform where people will be listening to, and the government can respond to the cry of the people, and then this will end the insurgency, and this one will bring the peace. This is a beginning, and I will urge the government to sustain it, especially having this kind of discussion with different sectors. You have it with the young people. You listen to the young people, the new generation. What do you want? What do you want so that you cannot go into conflict? What do you want so that you can be able to showcase your potential? And then looking at the innovation and aspect of the world is moving. We are left behind for over 1.5 decades. What do we do as a Borno citizen to catch up? This can be for the young people, separately for women, separately for people living with disability. With this, when we have a platform for the government to listen to people, I think all this issue of the insurgency and lack of peace will be addressed. A lot of people have tangible ideas and then suggestions on how to end this conflict, but they don't have access to who to talk to. But if they have a place they can talk in confidence and they will be listened to, I'm sure we're going to see the end of this insurgency, inshallah.
I want to say thank you very much to Mr. Mohammed Kabir-Wanori for joining us, Executive Secretary of Borno State Information and Communications Technology Development Agency, and also to you, Mr. Ahmed Shehu, Chairman of the Chief Security and Chief Security Officer of the Northeast Civil Society Forum. Gentlemen, thank you very much for having this conversation.